So we're gonna be continuing this tournament here, and if I have time, we do more. Maybe. Alright, we are ready now, I think. Set up, have that one up. We'll do a few of this, and then if I need to later, we'll continue like making units. Because I have the ideas down now. So we have Ancient versus Light up now, with the Citizen versus the Righteous Brawler to start us off. And, well, here we go. Good 2-4. Just throwing hands. Wasn't the float and the, like, stomp you didn't want it to be for the light side? You're a fan of them. This is more like it, yeah. You didn't even take a hit. Light gets up 1-0. Should be 2 for the infantry versus solar shield. Actually, let me go through these. We have the ancient and light. The evil tribal. Dark farmer. Viking the Wild West. Dynasty Spooky Delta. So light's up 1, and I mean, it should be up 2 after this. Yeah, that didn't do much damage. We'll do that. Back into it. No, there should be 7 versus 10 with the Snake Archer. That was a lucky shot from one of the Gallant Glaives. I mean, they're done. They are so done. This isn't good for the Ancient faction. They're already only what? They're already only like 2 losses away from losing this entire round. And it's gonna be no, it's 3 right now, and it's about to be 2. There's no way the Hoplite beats Sunspot. Sunspot is just way too powerful. This one should be an easy Ancient victory, though. They're gonna get on the board with the Ballista Archer, which is, you know, one of their best units for this. Considerably long range. It's still shooting a ballista bolt. Like, that's still one-shotted most things that we have here. Gladiator versus Pure Paladin. It's not looking good for your boy Gladiators. Oh, we have a 1v1. That's rare to see. And I mean, if the Minotaur doesn't win this, they're knocked out of this round. I think I might need to make some changes to the Minotaur and Dracula. by the end of after this tournament is finished. So hopefully we'll have the tournament finished, and then start uploading with the last 4 campaigns, which I think are going to be Neon Modern. We have Neon Modern and Ancient Egypt as like definite. I have like no plans for the 4th one. I don't know what it'll be. I'll have to like look. I mean, I'll have to like look in like the unit creator and see just like what groups I can make. Okay, so Zeus versus I forget his name, but like yeah, they had like Sunstrike. They had like one chance, and they didn't get it. Speed 40,000. Artemis versus the Temporal Tailor. They aren't even able to get hits in. That's really bad. Because I know that this one isn't going to be a great matchup for Ares. Yeah, there's a chance that they missed. They didn't. That is the biggest blowout we've ever seen. Light takes that matchup 10-1. Medieval versus Tribal. Peasant takes game 1. And they get to take game 2. This is an unfortunate matchup for the Pelter. Even a pre-nerf wouldn't have done well in this one because of the range difference. Which might get a second shot off before it can. And I mean, there's no way that the Archer misses twice for that matchup. Speaking of Archer, we have the Tribal Archer now versus the Squire. I'm pretty sure the Squire has a projectile block, so this is also not very fortunate. Yup, if they had like the spear thrower, this would be better. Yup. That's 3 up for Medieval. We have Spear Infantry versus the Catapult Thrower. Hello. I mean, they got 2 of them with 4 boulders. There's only 1 of them left now. It's not how you use boulder. It's not really how you use a spear either. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you just use yourself as the boulder, I see. I gotcha. Trouble Infantry takes game two. Honestly, like if when they get a pulse and catapult throwers should just throw the boulder straight down. They got three, not the fourth one down. So this is definitely a better showing than either of the previous rounds have been so far at the start. Yeah, like that. Shut up. It's a 2v1. And the Evil still takes it. These are two pretty similar units in the Footman and Club Warrior. Both of them are like knight, brawler, hoplite base units. Okay. So they're beginning to surround. The Club Warriors were beginning to surround these footmen and actually, bog them down. Got shot. Like, they are getting it back. They do have a pretty substantial equipment and HP advantage. Three footmen remaining. Let's see if they can pull it off again. Because, I mean, they weren't the highest of HP. Yeah, actually, the Club Warrior actually gets the first attack off because of the footman charge. But I think the footman has the ability to, like, parry. So, what are you doing? What do you mean you're lurking now? Anyway, okay, yeah, that's a mean. I mean, they've already won, actually. Executioner and Shaman. Okay. Anyway, Shaman versus Executioner. Be an interesting one as they get feared away. One of the Executioners has already been converted. Two, three of them, all four of them have. Tribal gets on the board. Okay, okay, okay. What's next? Chieftain. Chieftain versus the Queen. Leaders. Go. Yeah, they're gonna get in here really quickly. Queen does not have any, like, close range capabilities. It's a Chieftain win. This one will also be interesting. So, I mean, the Knight's tanky, but it might not be this tanky. I don't think they have, like, over ballistable HP. Okay, they have comparable. Which is why the Tamer is so good. I mean, the Knight's gonna lose this one. Because as soon as that one were to get done with all of it, it wouldn't matter. Now in this one, this will be a match. The Tribal King versus King Fallen. 45 versus 16, go. This will be a big battle. Tribal King does have Enrage, which is like their advantage. Fallen obviously has like so much more HP and a lot higher damage output. They like 4-shot King Fallen. Or I mean, a Tribal King. Maybe even 3-shot. Seeing a lot of Tribal Kings on the ground. Seeing a few King Fallens having fall. Like, they just need to go in groups. I mean, both of them need to go in groups, but these Tribal Kings over here on this side are going in groups. And then the King Fallens are just doing things solo, essentially. Tribal Kings take it down game 1, but who knows what'll happen in game 2. I mean, it might be the same, but, you know. Doesn't really matter, because Medieval has won the total matchup. Just a huge brawl happening in the center of the field here. Again, we're seeing a lot of the Tribal Kings, like, group up together compared to King Fallens, who are just, like, doing things solo. Which, I mean, kind of makes sense. They have 4 times more. Or, like, 3, they have, like, 3 times more units to group up with. But Medieval still is going to take that dub. Next up, we have Dark versus the Farmer faction. Shadow Assassin and Storyteller. He actually did his job. Oh, triple kill to start off the Dark faction on the board. Skewer versus the Dark Defense. I mean, pre-nerf Skewer, you know, might have had a really good chance at this. You guys can't be missing like that. I mean, dude, 2 hits with the stick did like half her HP. So no doubt that these sewers. Yeah, that's like two sewers that actually got into her. Skewer takes game two. Game three. None of them hit this time. This is going to be up to the second reload. They missed. Now they just have to like stick her down. Up, good hit. Not enough. Dark gets on the board with two. Mad Mechanic versus the Farmer. It took one of them down, at least. See if they can do it again, maybe. Dark up 3-0. Shielded Spike and the Hay Baler. Which the Hay Baler is essentially just the normal Hay Baler. This could also use an update into actually having like a useful secondary weapon, like a second stick or something. Because it just got like 10 points more expensive and nothing to really show for it. Wicked Whip versus Halflings. I mean, there's nothing that could have been done there. Okay, hold on a minute. 150. Fuck, it's a 30. Okay, a Tempest of Tricks versus Potion Seller. I was gonna say this might be one of their only chances to get on the board, but no, they have the same range. Dark has already won this matchup. Shadow Slice and the Harvester. Harvester has to like bring this back somehow, because this has been an actual blowout. Oh my god, it's still not even close. What the? Dude, there's no way. Farmer Faction is probably the weakest one. Whoever is the weakest one will definitely have to receive some buffs at the end of this. I might use this as just like an entire thing to rebalance a lot of the factions. Traveler versus Death Dealer. I mean, they have pretty similar like roles to fulfill. Like fast rushdown units. I mean, they're doing decent. Almost killed two of them, got a third one down to half HP, but it's just not enough. If they maybe hit more. Will we see it? there's no way we see it, right? There's no way we see a complete and total blowout. Come on, Scarecrow. Oh my god, it's not even close. It's 9-0. This is their last chance. I mean, it's a good chance they do outrange these guys. They should. Oh, dude, they have like the same range. This is not very good for Wizard. I mean, they're able to be damaged. We can like damage the Darkness Demon the entire time. They just need to kill the Darkness Demon before they get killed themselves. One's dead. They just keep backing up. I mean, this one's dead now. I don't get that. Come on. You know, it's gonna be close. Oh my god, that's literally the last hit. I'm just gonna give it to the farmer because, I mean, with that matchup, was like, Legacy Impale is bugged. It's not. Raider versus Dynamite. Good dodge, guys. I'm pretty sure they're actually just gonna shout her off the map. Yeah, Paddler versus Miner. Oh, they okay. Well, this is a matchup. Viking up 2-0. This is a rough one for the boy and the your Viking fans. I don't get that. Hello, Cherish. I don't get how it like when you put these things on a unit, it affects them so much. Like Blunderbuss, Haybane, Cactus. Like they get affected by way more projectiles than the actual unit does. I mean, it wasn't even close to it. Didn't. It wasn't. It wasn't gonna be fair. But, you know. Berserker versus the native. Yeah, yeah, I suppose this is what you get when you try to actually use lay down on a unit. Axer versus Lasso. This one we had something similar to this. God, yeah. Ice Mage versus Gunslinger. That's not even close. Like the Firestorm like goes at least where the units are. Like that wasn't even close to where the Gunslingers are. Why Ice is just so much worse in this game. Cooler versus the Prisoner. Now, normally Ice would be a good matchup against something like the Prisoner because they don't get to use their Rage. But here, it doesn't it's not the same because the War Axe actually does damage, so they will get to be enraged. Which means it was bad enough that they had a projectile block, but complete invincibility? Is there anyone in chat? How's your day going today? Yeah, that wasn't close. Well, it was starting to bring it back. Valcarl versus Deadeye. Need these enrages to run out really quickly. I mean, laying down under a bird isn't the worst strategy I've ever seen in my life. It's good. Y'all got any plans? I feel like they can absolutely win this if they like pull off their shots correctly. That's every single one of them enraged. They'll probably get they'll get this third shot off. So yes, that I can very much so take this matchup down. Just can't let these Valgarls get staggered. There's two left. They're enraged again. They're starting to kill off some of the Deadeyes. One Valgarl left. This guy's going through it right now. Okay, it's now tied up Wild West versus the Viking faction. It's gonna be what? It's gonna be like no, so 8 versus 15. Viking versus Sheriff. Sheriff doesn't have a great HP pool. You know, this Ice Breath should actually be doing something to him. Yeah. Yeah, it did a lot to him. Okay. Okay, wow. They even miss. This 1v1 isn't the greatest thing. I really didn't make too many ranged ones. Hi, Necro. Thor's in range now. Is this the first time you've been here since I've gotten the, like, done late night VTubing? Because I've been doing this for, like, 5 months. Dude, it's been like half a year. I was debuting this at Halloween. Where the fuck have you been? It's gonna be close between these guys now. Nah. Alright. Doesn't really have much HP left. It's like one kick left. What a backflip. Backflip with a minigun. Is that like isn't that like a country? Yeah. Was the moving for uni or like is that like what? You're going in person, like not online? I mean, I don't do that. My university is insane. It's only like a 2 hour drive away. If I go back. This is a match to watch. Well, that I mean it's a hard match to, follow around because they're all over the place. One Thor is already dead. That's good. What are you gonna do with it? Pretty like it's a very normal thing to do, but it's like still very useful. All right, are you gonna make like custom Pokemon too, or are you gonna like just like how much is being remade in this? It's gonna be close again. I was not expecting this to be close when it was 4v1. Yeah, but it's like, are you gonna like remake like calculations in the game? Like formulas for like determining stats, determining damage. Got it. Okay. So what? I don't even think that would really be Pokemon then, unless you like use Pokemon models and stuff in it. That's not really a Pokemon game then, unless there's Pokemon in it. Like if the battles are nowhere close to the same. I mean, this kind of sounds more like a custom region, I feel like, than a fan game, you know? Which I've definitely had my eyes on doing, a custom, like, Undertale-based region. Okay, there goes those. Now getting, surrounded by the two players. We're separating into two separate battles here. Yeah, what you got plans? Is it gonna be like based on anything? Like based on a real world region? Based on another game? Do you have any real story lined up yet? Um, I don't know why that got automodded, and I don't know what you said. I don't know why it got automodded, nor can I actually even like unautomod it. Weirdly enough, like that is just asterisks. So Thor takes that, giving Viking the win in that section. Dynasty and Spooky. Hmm, that's weird because I don't even think I actually have links disabled in my chat. And I mean, even if I do, like I can un-automod them. It's really weird that I couldn't un-automod that. Samurai versus Skeleton Warrior. Paris.io. Gotcha. No clue what that is. He says, Diablo uncracked, but like that was like tanks and stuff. Let's see. Dynasty, 1-0. Rogue type. Normal, fairy, psychic. Both water, ground, grass, fire. Okay. This ghost psychic. What is it? That's an interesting one. So it's both super effective and weak to fairy. Pretty cool. You're giving dragon more offensive type matchups, which they kind of need. I'm gonna be real. Dragon hits a lot for neutral, but they only hit one thing for super effective, being themselves. Let's see here. What else is there? Normal, having less defensive matchups now. I mean, that's pretty good. This makes normal like a way worse typing. Um, Bringing fairy down, that's pretty good. That's pretty useful to do. Fairy's like way too strong. Uh, Martial arts versus Ganoland. Then I don't think water needs any more defensive matchups. So water's a really good defensive typing. Same with like fire is actually a really good defensive typing team. Like fire, I think fire is really underrated when it comes to typing. Oh, that might just be because I'm a fire type person. Well, like they have a really solid type chart. They have like the second most resistances, second most super effectives. Burn status is huge. A lot of fire type Pokemon are good. Like Incineroar. Incineroar is everywhere. You like can't go a single match without seeing Incineroar. Spore Witch versus Scorcher. Yeah, Incineroar. Then even like Ogre Paw and Fire, I believe Arcanine gets some usage as well because it, also has Intimidate. I know Colossal used to be a big one back in Sword and Shield. Intimidate, you know. A lot of fire types get Intimidate. Oh, who else was good? Mega Blaziken was really good. Infernape was good. Normal Blaziken with Speed Boost was also good. Um, I mean, obviously, legendaries like Ho-Oh, and then mythicals like Heatran and Volcanion were also good. Obviously, because they're legendaries and mythicals. Um, I'm trying to think of who else has been good. Cinderace was good, and Zeldurge is like the single strongest, is like the strongest starter Pokemon to date. At least like playthrough wise and stuff. Zeldurge is just great. I love Zeldurge. Hold on, I'm alright, let's go through this still. You have it both resisting and being and like not, well, Ghost and Rogue resist each other, which is pretty neat. In current stage, there's only Fighting and Bug as the only two types that resist each other. Having it be weak against Fairy and super effective against Fairy means that there's now two types that are super effective against each other that are not the same type, which currently doesn't exist. The last time that existed was Poison and Bug in Gen 1. Also, Jesus Christ, Banshee absolutely demolished that matchup. Holy shit. Drogon versus Necromancer. Alright, let's continue this. 5 legendary, 2 mythical Pokemon, post champion, Elite Four fights. I mean, that's pretty cool. You lock the high static beings behind the end of the game so that they can't be used on a team before you become champion. This is unique. And the Shogun wins. Alright, let's see here. Paladin, Freya, Zapdos, Nyx, and Tia. 65 to 77, so that means the champion and Elite Four will have to be under 65 if these are post game. Like, bro, Emerald? What was Emerald doing giving you a level 70 Rayquaza before you do the lead? Like, what was that? I mean, technically you can do, like, you could technically get, I'm pretty sure you could technically get, all of the Ruin Legendaries in Scarlet Violet before doing a single gym. I think. You might not be able to. Or no, you're definitely able to because you don't have to do the gyms, but like before starting any of the storylines, I'm not sure if you could actually get the Ruin Legendaries. Because like you need the Titans and stuff for Koraidon to or Miraidon to like have more movement options. And I'm not sure if you have enough movement options to get all of the stakes for all of the locations. Alright. Left is that post champion where tension starts to rise. Chronos, Pokemon of Time. Ragnarok, Pokemon of Endings. Right now, and Chronos loses. I mean, what's the difference between Chronos and Dialga? I will be real anyway. The Celestials are under Chronos' control, fully corrupted, turning into rogue versions of themselves. So this is like Colosseum type shit. Right? That's the one with Shadow Pokemon. Dragon Warrior versus Unleashed Swordcaster Go. It's close. Oh, dude, if he only just did another dragon ability instead of fire wave, he would have won. Oh, I did it again. Red Jade Sensei versus Dracula. Playing the fight then, freeing the path to Kronos and Ragnarok. I mean, it's pretty easy to make a unique Pokemon in like a Pokemon game with unique things. They haven't really deviated from the formula ever. Like Let's Go, Legends Arceus, Legends ZA hype, bro. Eternamax. Eternamax has an A instead of an I there, and Eternatus has a U instead of an I. Finally, bro, a game that's like, nah, bro, you where the actual storyline changes if you lose. Like, I wish Pokemon would actually do that at some point. Let's see here. So this should be 65. I mean, unfortunately, like, you have to do something about saving. Or not. Like, just have to do this. Oh, okay. I can't read that message out anyway. Sorry, that should be 4 for Dynasty. I can't read that last part out. Essentially heard in the VOD, and anyone not reading this. In when we get when it becomes a VOD, yeah, that's it. You just got your one chance. So stock up on your um stock up on forward stores, guys, and revives. Yeah, but I can't say the C. I don't think I can. I don't think I can actually say the C word. I'm not sure if I can. I actually should be able to because I'm an NSFW swimmer, but you know. Good thing that this is a fan game though, because I mean, people get to choose whether or not to download it, and like kids aren't gonna like that. Like YouTubers and stuff, like you can YouTubers are like, I know it's funny, and that's Latin. Like YouTubers and stuff, like PokeTubers are good. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. Like you're gonna need like Gen 9 power creep levels of actual Pokemon in there for that to be an actual fight. Especially if it's both of them at once. But I think it will be nice. Okay. Are they gonna be what are their abilities gonna be? Because that's now opens the window to just cheese strats essentially. Which I don't think there's much that one can do against that. Like, I mean, if you don't put something like Wobbuffet in, I mean that counters Wobbuffet's type strategies. But like Perish Song, um, frick, Toxic Poison, hell, even Burn would get the job done eventually. But you need a lot of like restores and revives. right, send pics, babe. I mean, what? I mean, at 10, that's still gonna be really. That's not gonna be fun. If you mean full heal, like it goes back to full HP. I was like, did you fight? He turned into this. You don't kill him in 5 turns. Don't kill him in 5 turns, even with Zacian and Zamazenta helping you with their boosts and everything. Like Ultra Necrozma too. That was a hard fight to do like blinded. I mean, you would only be able to do Power Strong at that point. Unless you have like some crazy attacking Pokemon. So like crazy, you need like crazy high power Pokemon for that. Like, dude, I don't know if you do. No, because like the thing is, don't think any amount of turn nerfing would be good for that. I think it would just be like, dude, when you have a Pokemon at that level, you don't need setup moves. Like, there is no world where Eternamax Eternatus needs to actually set up. It has like it has base 255 HP, 255 defense and special defense, and then base like 110 attack, 130 special attack, and like 130 speed. Like there is no world in which it needs to set up. Because it just laughs in your face as you try and deal damage to it, especially in a 1v1. And like also consider that during that fight, Eternamax Eternatus is like Dynamaxed. So Zacian and Zamazenta with their insane stats, and Zacian's +1 attack boost, and stab, and their moves get double power. What the fuck is power in Pokemon nowadays? What the fuck? So let's go through this, okay? Zacian is base 720 stat total, which is the same as Arceus. A 170 base attack, steel type move, 100 base power that gets doubled when you're fighting against a Dynamax Pokemon, which Eternatus should count as, and it gets a +1 boost when it's in the battle. And I'm pretty sure one of the two even howls to give the entire team +2. So now Zacian has +3. So it has over double the attack that it actually should at that level, and it's like what, like level 70, which is higher than the 50 you would normally get in competitive Pokemon. And like that thing still doesn't do all that much damage to Eternatus. So no, I so the big thing is, do you want to make it so that Perish Song is the only way to beat this thing? Because if not, then you keep it like that. Because if you want to make Perish Song the only way to beat these guys, you keep it like that. But if not, you just make it so that they don't full heal themselves. Like they can heal their status effects and remove stat drops, but they can't go back to full HP. Because I don't do competitive Pokemon either. I like used to, and I kind of want to do competitive Pokemon, but I also really don't because it's just a chore to do. But like, let's put it into perspective. Chansey. Okay, let's look at this in a singles format. Okay, Chansey is a Pokemon with base 250 HP, which is, for all intents and purposes, the same as Eternax Eternatus, but base 70 special defense and base 5 physical defense, which are so far below Eternax Eternatus. Yet, Chansey is infamous in the singles competitive scene for running Eviolite, which makes its defenses doubled, and then just stalling you out. Like, if you don't hit it with a physical move, you just don't really kill an EVO-like Chansey. Like, Eternamax Eternatus took a 4v1, two of which were Pokemon at the level of on the same stat total of Arceus. Like, I mean, having it be 6v1 does make it easier, but you cannot have a Pokemon like that full heal itself at all. Although technically, I'm pretty sure Toxic would actually kill it before that timer runs out, because Toxic takes 6 turns to kill for like the ramp up to kill. But like you'd be giving you'd be giving players like only two strategies to work with. You either toxic it, or Hair Storm, because any other strategy just like doesn't deal enough damage if it wipes out stat changes and full heals itself after a certain amount of turns. You don't deal enough damage to it at that point. You would not be able to deal enough damage to it in 10 turns without like heavy setup, like a fully competitive team. So, Full Heal is a very different thing to Full Restore. Full Heal is an item in Pokemon that just heals any status condition, which I think is fine. It just can't get back to full HP, like ever. Because then that also just means you just roll into the fight with like 999 revives and 999 full restores, and then it just never ends. You just don't have a fight that ends. Yeah. Like it can heal its status conditions. I don't think that's unfair. It can like heal its status conditions and um heals stat drops and stat modifiers. Because Eternamax Eternatus does that. Ultra Necrozma starts off with an Omni Boost. Eternamax Eternatus wipes out your stat changes and nullifies stat changes to itself. So like stat changes, I don't think is the worst thing for it to be able to do. But I mean, that would also have to consider the offensive level of Pokemon that's present within the hat or the fan game. So if you have like a stall team, you just don't win. There's just nothing you can do. But if you have like a really good offensive sets, like really good offensive sets and a really good offensive team, then you should be able to do it. I'd have to see more based on the actual like Pokemon or units or whatever we're gonna call them that are being put into the game. But like, it's just something about. Like, I don't even know if I would be able to deal through that. I'd have to actually like try and find a way to like simulate a battle against Eternax Eternatus myself. Also, goddamn, those jousters just absolutely ruined the captain. That would again just be like, hey guys, use Perish Song. There's a lot that has to go into this. If you don't want like Perish Song to be like the main thing. I don't think Perish Song technically counts as an Oko move. Because like Pokemon that have like abilities that make them immune to Okos, like I don't think survive Perish Song. It like just sets your HP to 0 essentially. You would have to make it have like soundproof or something along those lines, so that it would be immune to sound-based moves and therefore singing-based moves like Parasol. I mean, I just have to know more about Well, here, actually, let me just look it up real quick. Yes, so Perish Song does kill sturdy Pokemon. It just causes a Pokemon to faint without dealing damage to it. So, like, sturdy doesn't work on it. So, unless you have, you would need, like, and neither does, like, the Focus Sash. Magic Guard doesn't work on Perish Song, so you'd have to do, like, Soundproof or, like, some variant of Soundproof as an ability in order to protect, like, fully protect against Perish Song. If you're on the Discord, you can. I don't think these might not be all that much of a problem if the Pokemon you have access to at this point are like really good offensively. I don't think like a basic team would be able to go through this. You'd have to like actually go out of your way to like make your team more competitive based than just a normal gameplay would allow you to do. Something like this. This is a close match too. But like based on the new Pokemon. Okay, very true. Which actually kind of makes it worse. Because if all the new Pokemon are in line with Gen 6 and 7, assuming, like, we aren't on the level of Ultra Necrozma while he's the boss, and and all the Megas. I swear, if you put Megas in the game, well, like, dude, we don't have much, Incineroar is good in doubles. He's not that great in singles. Like, he's not like the just forever presence in singles as he is in doubles. VGC and Smogon are two very different things. Like, you know, like I said, Chansey is one that's like really prevalent in singles, and I don't think Chansey is all that prevalent in doubles. For like a doubles tank, you'd have like Porygon 2, Rhydon, or like Dusclops. Dusclops has like always been like a premier doubles tank. Like, these ones aren't as prevalent in the singles metagame as they are in a doubles metagame. Like, Skeledirge is insane in singles, but it's, like, not great in doubles. I saw, like, Greninja and Cinderace were also, like, insane in singles because of their abilities to just change types. But they aren't, like, the best in doubles. And, like, again, another comparison between the two is, Mega Rayquaza was allowed in certain doubles formats, yet it wasn't allowed in like any single singles format ever. When Mega Rayquaza came out, Smogon, which is essentially like the authority for singles competitive Pokemon, had to make a whole new tier above Ubers, which is where most like stupidly strong Pokemon go, like all like most legendaries. But they had to make a tier above Ubers called Anything Goes. And I think like Zacian got into that tier later. The Gigantamaxes were in that tier for some reason or another. I don't actually know. I didn't do much during Gen 8 competitive scene, so I don't know why the Gigantamax forms were all actually banned. But it's like King Gambit and Houndstone when when Scarlet Violet first came out, and Fluttermane were like unbeatable monsters in singles competitive, but they aren't like super prevalent in doubles. I think Tyranitar is still good, like a really good Pokemon in doubles, but in singles it's now in underused. Um, um, you can probably just put it anywhere. I don't have many channels. Self promo, I guess, because it is kind of self promotion. Images work too if you have the images. Like I'm no stranger to making monsters because I made Undertale and I made Undertale, Deltarune, and Undertale Yellow characters as Pokemon, and some of them are like the most busted things you've ever seen. Like even way more busted than Gen 9 is. It's like I know what I'm not like good at competitive Pokemon, but I know what's gonna make a Pokemon good. And you like move sets, base stats, ability. I should change Da Vinci to having bomb cannons. Response is gonna take that 7-4. Crap, this has been going for an hour and 20 minutes already. That's a lot. That's a lot. Oh my god. That that's a lot. That's a lot to look at. That's like what I did for some of my busted ones. A lot is an understatement. Southwest and Dynasty. Pirate and Dark. Or Ancients and then Flooded. The Celestials are also 6v1s. I mean, yeah, it makes things better for you. Like 180 attack is a lot, and essentially Moody. Like I don't know if you actually like watch Pokemon on YouTube, but like people like a lot of Poketubers when they do like then we fight videos have banned Moody because it's one of those abilities that's too good. Like huge power, pure power, and um frick and Wonder Guard. So like having essentially Moody, a few other Pokemon get it now. But like when Poketubers do like choose your starter by blank. I mean he also learns every move, which was, also helpful. Including Darkrai's signature move for a time, which was very, very helpful. Well, like when like Patters, Game Boy Luke, other Poketubers like that do choose your starter, but like by seeing their color, the color of their face, and then we fight. they usually have like you get to choose your ability, you get to like randomize your ability, but you can't use like you can't use Moody, you can't use Mood Power, Pure Power, or Wonder Guard because they're cringe. Like that is a very strong ability because it has no drawback to it. Like if you have a defensive wall with Moody, there's a chance that you just get -6 defense on all your Moody rolls. You just get minus defense on all your Moody rolls. Like everything I'm seeing, everything I think I will see for this, just kind of feels like it's just begging to be cheese, which you'll have to find a way to defend against. Oh God. Okay, let's see here. Let's look. What else is there? Okay, so let's see here. That's a lot. It is a lot to go up. It is a lot to go with. You will probably outspeed this thing. What were Rogue's type matchups? Does he have a full team speed? No, no 4 times weakness. So that'd be fun. Um, Fairy's neutral now, so Dragon is super effective. Water is super effective. Rock and ground are super effective still. It's really hard to try and think of the type matchup on here. Okay. I mean, that's a pretty good defensive type matchup because he shouldn't die. He's pretty tanky with base 120 and base 110, base 120 defense, 120 HP, base 110 in both defenses. So he shouldn't die to like a freaking earthquake or something like that. Like Stone Edge crit might kill him. He would also most likely nuke whatever you send out unless you have like it built against it. Like sturdy. Hyper Beam's an interesting choice. Because I mean that does kind of just give you a free turn afterwards. Oh my god. Oh my this poor dude. I mean that happens in normal Pokemon too. Like an item is your turn unless it's like a double battle, in which case you can use an item on one Pokemon and then do something with the other one. Like I'm trying to think of it, and like going back to Legends Arceus with Volo being like one of the hardest fights that has ever happened in normal Pokemon. That was an 8v6, technically. He got his full team of 6 and then freaking two Giratina. He got two Giratinas, and then the Giratina got stat boost on top of it. The more I talk about modern Pokemon, the more I'm like, what the hell are people? What the hell are they cooking? Ultra Necrozma, base 754, Omni Boost, like a super effective move for like anything that you can have against it, and like 10 levels higher than anything you have at the time if you play normally. In Turnback's Eternatus, base 100, 1125, 255 HP defense and special defense, 130 attack, 130 special attack, 130 speed. Zacian, base 170 attack, like 140 speed, 140 speed. Behemoth Blade, base 100 power, 100% accuracy, doubles in power if it's a Dynamax Pokemon. It gets stabbed from it. It gets +1 to its attack stat when it enters battle. What are they cooking? Right, like they went over Miraidon as well, which is also everywhere in VGC when it's allowed. Miraidon, base 130 speed, like 145 special attack, sets up electric terrain when it enters the field, gets a stab, gets a 1.3 times special attack buff from being in electric terrain, gets a specials move that's based on like 120 power, based on 100 power that doubles if it's super effective, then gets boosted by stab and the electric terrain. What? Hi, Rose. And shut up. Like, I actually don't understand what. I actually don't understand what Pokemon has been doing lately. Like, who sat. They sat down in a meeting, had these ideas, and then we're all like, okay, yeah, that's good. Like, I don't know if Pokemon, like, modern Pokemon has, like, more disgusting power than Gen 1 did with its Psychic type, and crits being based on speed. But it's gotta be close. We haven't seen levels of jank this high since Gen 1. Shut up. No, stop it. Solar Steamer definitely has this in the bag. Were you were you there for mm, were you there for Gen 1 Necro? Or have you heard anyone talk about Gen 1? Um, no, Gen 1, I said. Just shut up. I did also join in Black and White with my first games. Yeah, do you actually understand how bad it was? So like to start off with, Psychic types had good attack. They had like good moves, first of all, which a lot of Pokemon didn't get. They had effectively, yes, yeah, special attack and defense weren't separated, so anything like a bunch of special types, since moves were categorized based on their type back then, were also just good. Alakazam was fast too. Don't forget that he was also just insanely fast. But let's see here. What was it? Um, they have a good move. The stats were better for them, and then no dark type existed. Okay, there was like One good, there were no good bug moves on the two good bug types of Scyther and Pinsir. They did not get good bug moves. I don't even think they actually got bug moves at all. There were only like three of them. And then the only ghost type move was Lick. And due to a bug in the code, ghost types couldn't affect psychic types. And then like Mewtwo, like looking at Mewtwo, Mewtwo had in Gen 1 the modern stat equivalent of like 754 or something like that, because it would have both 154 special attack and special defense. Like they did three different things to nerf the psychic type back then because they had to. Norm was also kind of goated, but that was only because like Persian and Tauros were really good because of the crit system, which also benefited Alakazam because Alakazam would crit like a fourth of the time. Okay, I have been told to determine whether I would smash or pass Saint Celestine from Warhammer 40K. So I now have to go look that up. I mean, that doesn't matter. I don't need to know my backstory, just the order. I mean, yeah, that's a smash. It won't be like my preferred type of smash, but it is still a smash. Oh, let's see. Let's see what we have. Oh, they do they not one shot four? Oh no, they do. This was not. This one was not gonna be close at all. I can take a look at that while we swap over. White takes a very close 6-5 dub over Blanky. All right. Um, Misty Terrain sucks. Misty Terrain is like the worst terrain weather condition in the game right now. Okay, let's see here. So this thing is weak to steel. It's weak to fairy, and I think that's it. That is a great defensive typing. And I think those are the only two because fairy only has steel and poison, and poison gets resisted by rogue, so that's now neutral. Of course, rogue is weak to dragon, but fairy is immune to dragon. Attack and special attack by one stage when hit is pretty good. Lethal status effects from user. This thing just sets up on your face so much. It's like your best bet would be like, oh, dude, that is a really good stat spread for this thing as well. 110 attack isn't really great though for it. Um, because it's not gonna want to use that like ever. I mean, the same goes for Paladin's base 130 special attack. It doesn't really want to use that because its physical attack is 180. But having its special defense be higher than its physical defense is really good for this. Because Steel is a more physical type and it doesn't actually have all that good physical moves. And then Fairy is a very special type. Like, this thing should not die to a player rough unless it's for like a fucking face shit. Like that's, I mean, and just all the setup it gets. Like, dude, you do like stored power with that one. That's an insane. That would be like an insane setup. Skeleton Warrior versus Painter. I mean, this is it's still like very much so like really good. I don't think it's like unbelievably busted now. If it had like 100 more stat points to work with, yeah, these would not be very fair to go against. Especially five different ones. Like it's actually like guaranteed to live a hit. So what you would do is you would do like frick, what's its base move? I mean, I think having them be at like 630 is fine. Even like 600 is normal. Like 680 is box art legendary status. But like so what you do with this is you'd actually do like internal courage turn one, get +1 in both, assuming it doesn't actually have any better setup moves than that. Then you would take a hit, and then you'd be at +2. So both of your attacking stats are now doubled because like it's a pretty nice defensive spread. It's not like the greatest, but like with only two weaknesses and neither of them being good on the physical side, like this thing can pretty easily get doubled attack and special attack. Do you have any art for these yet? Okay, no like photos of them though or anything like that. Oh, we'll get to creating soon here. We'll just chill and make units for the rest of this. Candlehead and Balloon Archer. 1v1. I don't think I need to run this one. There's no way the crossbow wins this matchup. This is Spore Witch versus Fencer. Go. For one spooky favor right now. This should be pretty simple for the Musketeer. Renaissance up now to 2, but still not close yet. This one shouldn't be close. Should be very easy Necromancer dub. Necro, can you also just drop the rogue type chart matchup in the Discord while you're there, so I don't have to keep scrolling back up to see what it is. Yeah, very easy spooky dog. Like Necromancer is a very much so like a top tier unit I've made. Swordcaster and Jouster. Isn't it also isn't it also like really late for you now? Dracula versus Hero Fencing Champion, I think. I don't remember what I called it. Draculas are not. You gonna go to bed and after sending these, or what? Because I mean, I can go over all of them before you go to bed. Okay, this thing does not need iron defense. This thing does not need iron defense. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and send 4 and 5, and then I can go over them, and then I mean, you can just like either work and fall asleep to this, or go to sleep. Okay. Do you have like nothing going on later? Pretty sure this is also a Da Vinci win, which is highly unfortunate. Yeah, it's gonna be Da Vinci win. Okay, so Renaissance takes that 6-5, barely. Okay, let's see here. Zafkiel, Celestial of Honor. I have no clue what these guys look like. Okay, don't care. Stat changes are mirrored for both sides. That makes things interesting. Removes all statuses and set all stats to stage 0. So that's like haze. Okay, that's fine for the honor duel thing. Okay, so Rogue Steel as a defensive type matchup. It's no longer weak to fire, still weak to ground, it's still weak to fighting. It's no longer weak to fairy nor dragon because steel resists that, so it has two weaknesses again. Swords dance and so wait, was it? It's ground and fighting. Oh my god, this thing has a really good stat spread for that because neither ground nor fighting are great on the special side. Like what? Aura Sphere? Bro. Focus Blast? I mean, Focus Miss. Earth Power is like around, and it's like a normal thing for people to run. I think Earth Power is like an issue for this thing with only base 70, or no, not even. It has base 110 special defense and base 80 HP. So this thing's also gonna live a hit. But I mean, if it uses Iron Defense, then the opponent gets freaking more defense as well. This thing would do great with like a freaking body press or something. The base power lowers the target defense by 1 stage. Okay. X Factor as as a signature move is what? Oh wait, hold on. Yeah. Higher Insight. Why do you put them all down as X Factor? Let's go through this now. Celestial Wisdom. It's the same. It's actually just swapped around some stats. That is very tanky. Okay, type interaction with this Pokemon are doubled. Is that defensive or offensive side? Who knows? I. Oh my God! Hold on a minute. That means it could be like a times eight, eight effectiveness on the offensive side. They're just dead. Let's see here. So resist ghost, so it's no longer weak to ghost. It's still weak to dark. It's still weak to bug. It's still weak to fairy and dragon. So it's not the greatest. You wouldn't count that. Let's go through this again. So it's still weak to fairy. It's still weak to dragon. It's still weak to bug, and it's still weak to dark. It's no longer weak to ghost, so that's four. Fairy, dragon, bug, and dark. Which bug and dark are like fairly offensive or like physical, and then fairy and dragon like special attackers more. So overall, this thing has a really good stat spread again. It's middle speed, which is actually really bad. Middle speed is like like 70, like 60 to 90 speed is like the worst speed you can be because you're not slow enough to take advantage of stuff like Gyro Ball or Trick Room. But you're also not fast enough to outspeed like any Pokemon that actually cares about being fast. And I'm a firm believer in that. Like Choice Scarf this thing, it's still not doing much. You probably run Choice Specs. Like I know you say it has Trick Room, but like it doesn't really want to use Trick Room all that much because it's so middle speed. Trick Room would benefit the ones that are slower than it, and then if it's outside Trick Room, it just it's slower than Pokemon who care about being fast. And it's faster than Pokemon who care about being in Trick Room. So it's really bad to be in this like middle area of speed, especially and also with like its attacking stats completely split. But this is very much so seeming to be a special attacker with Calm Mind and Expanding Force. Higher Insight, base power 50, both opponents' defense by two stages. I mean, that's kind of nuts too. All right, rant about that over until the next one. Wild West and Dynasty. Dynamite and Samurai. Yeah, probably. Let me actually go through these offensive stat matchups. So normal. Okay, it's like the Rogue has some really good ones. Poison fighting gets demolished by this by any psychic move this thing throws at it, even if it's like freaking confusion. And then there's a ton of psychic fairies that are gonna get demolished by the rogue based moves. Like, dude, you cannot bring a Gardevoir against this thing. Normal psychic, there's a considerable amount of normal psychic Pokemon that now have their type effectiveness go from four times weak to rogue to eight times weak to rogue against this thing. Like, bro, imagine fighting against this guy with like a freaking giraffe or like a full giraffe. You're just done. You're dead. This thing just glances in that photograph's general direction, and photograph just disintegrates. I think this is the first time Shugo Firework has actually had a matchup where it's won. And I'm trying to think of like moves that actually like drop stats that heavily by 2 stages, and I don't think there are many moves that do that. Dynamite does suck. Dynamite, Dynamite just doesn't do things well. Like oh, HP went down to 0 immediately. But like I'm thinking around, like parting, like certain moves do that, but they have like huge drawbacks to them, like making you faint or forcing you to switch out. So you know what? While this happens, I think we can go look at these. What do we have here? Okay. Also, I need to go through this again. God, the Wild West is getting absolutely dummied by the Dynasty. Like, especially for a 100%, for like a 100% chance too, that's really strong. I think they get on the board here with Gunslinger versus Ninja. They should. Ninja is not tanky. Ninja is not tanky enough to take this matchup. Yup. Wild West gets on the board now. Alright, so while this goes on, we'll go through this. Okay. The Celestial Ambition, Rogue Dragon. I mean, that just makes it so that both of its things are, it's quad weak to Fairy and quad weak to Dragon. Oh, dude, it's things that have like dragon type coverage for this are just gonna murder this thing. This is probably the weakest one on the list. So, Rogue Ambition, ability, when afflicted with Assassin Condition, increase the highest stat by 2 stages, which is just going to be speed. It's always going to be speed. It's always going to be speed. There's no chance in hell that this thing highest stat doesn't become speed ever. But 80 defense, 80 HP, 90 defense, 100 special defense, then 110 attack, 90 special attack, 180 speed. So this thing does not need tailwind. Why does this thing need tailwind? Oh, need tailwind. Okay. So then going over it, increase attacks by 2 stages, defenses by 2 stages. So yeah, this thing just folds when it sees Dragon Pulse, Dragon Claw. Frick, dude, even like Draining Kiss kills this thing probably when it's quad effective. And then if it uses Ambitious Gambit, dude, this thing just dies at the sight of anything that has Dragon or Fairy type coverage that it doesn't Oko. That's a gamble of a Pokemon. Shoguns and prisoners still going at it. It's like a pretty good win for the Shogun. I'm not the greatest to give advice on this because well, maybe I am because I made a bunch of broken Pokemon and I noticed that they are really broken. Like Undertale Deltarune mixed together. Undertale Deltarune, Undertale Yellow, all of them having their characters turned into Pokemon. Like I've seen them, I've made them, and I've realized like, holy shit, these things are kind of busted. I mean, yeah, sure, dude. If you wanna start going through them, go ahead. Will he get close enough? I think the answer is yes. Oh no, they got really good hits in there and broke his back. We're so close. Oh, what? Or did I? Okay, did I take game two? I mean, it's useless because Dynasty has won this matchup, but they need to try and not get blown out. They can't stagger the shots like this. They have to shoot all at once. Because he's just going to be able to block all of their shots if we don't. Where'd that one go? Oh! That's 7-1. Oh god. Like, I don't know if I'll do well in this game because of a playstyle that I have in Pokemon, but like other people definitely will do well in this game. So like my playstyle is like I just catch like six Pokemon and then just use them. Like I'm the guy that would I'm one of those people that unironically would use Butterfree the entire game just because I got Butterfree early. Like in Scarlet Violet, I've used Clodsire the entire game because one, Clodsire is great, and just a derpy, beautiful mess, but two, I just didn't care enough to replace him. No, we'll do. Shoot. It doesn't look great for the mayor. I mean, they've gotten that one over there down like below half health. This one here is kind of screwed. For the beard! Bring the bird! For the bird! I know, I saw them. I can't exactly give them the best look, in, like, because they're multiple images instead of just one. Oh yeah, I've now gotten like 15. By the way, for this, I've now gotten like 15 of the 60 factions either thought out or done. 12 of them are done. No, 13 of them are done. I then have modern and ancient Egypt as planned factions, but I don't know what my last faction is going to be. Okay, let's see here. I got another Smasher Path here, guys. Um, I mean, it's not like the most Smash, I'd say, but it is definitely like, you know, I would. Hold on. Nogard has potential. Okay. The tank Pokemon. Okay, 35, 230, not bad. Base 60 attack, base 55 speed. It's pretty good for stage 1. Uh, level 21 evolution. Mm, no ability. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think you can have a Pokemon that just doesn't have an ability to start with. You gotta give it like something. If you don't want it to be good, you just do it something like really basic. Or like that doesn't do anything. You do like anticipation or something like that. Okay, basic level 21. Uh, set base 75 speed, base 85 attack, 380 base stat total. Yeah, it's a Pokemon. Still normal type. I saw it has competitive on it, which, yeah, Shadow Assassin can't stack for. Oh, let's see here. Special attack by 2 stages. I mean, that's also kind of a nothing move because this thing is a physical attacker, not a special attacker. This thing was kind of set up to be failed. Level 41? Level 41? level 41 is insane. Not, I mean, it's not like insane. I mean, man, dude, Unova. What was Unova on with its level ups? Like Hydreigon level 64, bro? And then like so many Pokemon in Unova don't evolve. That's very late for something like this. It would be like late 30s, I would say. Basing it off a starter has about 530 base stat total and evolves around level 36. It's not uncommon for Pokemon weaker than it to evolve later than it, but it should evolve around like the late 30s, like 37, 38, 36, around those levels. Like let's look at Gyarados for instance. Gyarados is a level 20 evolution that gets like base 520 stat total. What else? Most pseudo legendaries evolve around level 50 or more. We're gonna disregard Unova evolution levels. They don't exist. They just don't exist. But yeah, if your thing evolves at like level 37, that would be pretty good. Competitive is still really bad ability for this thing, given its stat spread of its attack being double its special attack. Tri-strike, physical fighting move, 25. Overall, about like a 30% chance to lower target's physical defense. 75 power base 75 power physical fighting move, which would then be like 110-ish with stab. This thing would be pretty good with an actual like good ability. Trap. I remember these. With Arena Trap. Oh god. Oh god. Poison type, 250 stats total. Defense is 55 and 55. I mean, basic. High rep. The barricade, snare trap. Snare trap is just worse than arena trap. So, I mean, that's a shame for this thing. I mean, it would have like again like a toxic that can't miss if it gets toxic. It would have like poison spike, like toxic spikes probably. Feels like. Let's see here. 95 defense, 80 special defense, 50 HP. Barricade, physical poison move that raises the use defense stat by 2 stages. I mean, this is reminiscent of Toxapex, but Toxapex is way like stronger than this. Oh, yeah. Okay, Dark up 2. Shielded Spike versus Swashbuckler. Got any more to share while you're here? Pretty sure Swashbuckler has the parry. I mean, sure, and you can go ahead and send them all, and I can like give my thoughts on them. So like the single, it could be set up for like a lot of success. Normal fighting is decent for offensive type coverage, not the best defensive type coverage in the world. Its stat spread is decent, but its ability really just makes it not want to work. Swashbuckler takes game one. I can't say that one. We'll get to look. I mean, I absolutely can. I'm gonna end this sometime sooner. I can say words like that, but we will be looking at that. Probably during the next set. Okay, that's 1-1. Now then, let's go over this. The Pounder, Punisher Pokemon. Well placed attack. No guard. Pretty good. Ground type, 60 attack, 60 speed, 260 base at total. I mean, pretty good. Level 18 for the Destroyer is pretty strong. No guard as well. Hammer Blow, physical, ground move, 110, lowers user's defense stat by 2 stages. That's a very heavy trade-off. Actually, it's not even that much of a trade-off because this thing just kind of doesn't is pretty much gonna die to like most things anyway with only base 55 HP and 55 in defense. Like having that drop by two is not because like it's gonna be one or two shot anyway. I don't think this makes much of a difference. That's a good signature move. Um, mind telling me why the Annihilator? Oh wow. Mind telling me why the Annihilator's icon is in like 10p? Harpooner versus the Wicked Whip. I mean, they're bringing these guys close, which isn't the greatest thing. I mean, it's pretty. That was a close match, though, all things considered. Like all the fire waves are just gonna do these guys in. Hi, Gaka. Welcome. That's a Wicked Whip win. Have fun in the abyss. Okay, Cannoneer takes game one. Good hit, good hit. Shadow Slice versus the Clam Jam. They're getting in close now. They like one-shot Clam Jam, the unit itself. Two left on both sides. These last two Shadow Slices are very low HP though. Okay, Clam Jam wins game one. Let's go on to game two. Okay, Annihilator level 35, 520. Yeah, like this is like a starter Pokemon. Hammer Blow still like it's weak. It's now weak to fire ground fighting, which ground and fighting are very much so physical type attacks. Frick, it's like 14. Um, Water is special. Um, Fire is special. Like benefits special attackers more. 80 in HP and special defense. This thing shouldn't die. It's like a single special move, unless it's like a really good one, like maybe Surf or Flamethrower. And like a decently strong Pokemon would do it. It can outspeed a lot of things, especially with a Choice Scarf. Or you could like Choice Band this thing and just get like huge damage off of Hammer Blow. Which the drawback of Hammer Blow does not matter at all to this Pokemon. Because, especially if it's weak to a physical attack, it's already going to die. This is not the stat spread of something that wants to take physical hits. The Boomer. Runaway, Flee from Wild Pokemon. That's a rough one. I think that also affects Arena Trap as well. Blindside, Dark Special Move, 50 power, 2 plus 2 priority, accuracy, 70%. 70% is really rough to work with, especially for a move that weak. This thing also just needs a stat increase if it's gonna be like a single stage Pokemon, unless it's supposed to be like an early game single stage Pokemon. Because like 430 with like nothing going for it is not great. Plus two priority is like it's like the same as, but like here's the thing, it's the same as Sucker Punch, which I know Sucker Punch has like the drawback of it not being able to be used if your opponent doesn't do like an attack. Like if your opponent doesn't do an attack, then Sucker Punch just doesn't work. I know that that exists. So 430 with 95 speed, 90 special attack. That's fine for like a early mid Pokemon. Okay, let's go over this. So you say this is the pseudo legend line, which it isn't. Pseudo legends are so this thing needs another evolution in order to be a pseudo legend. Let's go through this. Marksman, Ghosts, ability Frisk, you know, kind of a mixed attacker with slow speed, might need more from Trick Room. but this thing needs a middle stage. This marksman to fork needs some sort of middle stage that has like base 420 stat total to be a pseudo legendary. Yes, all the current pseudo legendaries in Pokemon are three stages. Slow experience, 600 stat total, and usually evolve late, so this thing does need to evolve later, like level 50. I don't think there's any Pokemon, any pseudo legendary, that evolves before 50. I think both Dragonite and Tyranitar are around 55. I think they're all around like 50s-ish. But mixed attack, not the greatest. 90 speed is gonna be like a choice scarf. Accuracy by 30%. Uh-huh. Precision strike, special ghost move. 130 base power. Really, that's good. I could say 80%, but with compound eyes, that's gonna hit a lot more often. -1 priority, for some reason, lowers the target's defense by one state. Okay, so it lowers the target's physical defense, not its special defense. It's a special move, not a physical move. Sure, I guess, but it does need a third evolution right now in order to actually, go with the definition of a pseudo legendary Pokemon. And while it doesn't have to evolve super late, it's just kind of normal for all the pseudo legendaries to evolve super late. I will later. I can actually, go through these. Okay, so Scout takes aim. And game two. Yeah, it lowers the user's the user's defense. Gotcha. It's still really weird for it to have -1 priority, which isn't the worst thing to have it make sense with. Because yeah, it's kind of redundant because the thing is slow enough so that it won't outspeed Pokemon that care about being fast. Like Pokemon that are like 100 or like above 100 speed care about being fast. So you either want to be above 100 speed or like 50 speed and below. Because at 50 speed below, you get to like take advantage of Gyro Ball, you get to take advantage of Trick Room. You're usually bulkier, so you have so like the stats that don't go into your speed go into like everything, goes to your like defenses or your attacks. Wow. Okay. That's impressive. Oh, it got knocked down. Gladiator versus Club Warrior. We can look at the next one. The Sprayer Blaze. That's a starter ability. Okay. Signature ability, which would be either its second ability or its hidden ability. Firepower, normal type moves to fire type moves, boost power fire type moves by 20%. Yeah, actually, that's better than normal stuff because normally it just boosts the power of the moves it converts by 20%. This says it boosts fire type moves, not the moves that get converted. So, like, it sounds like if you were to use like tackle, for instance, let's say like tackle and ember, both of those would be boosted. Whereas with like pixelate, only tackle would be boosted. Move it three. 305, don't care. Okay, level 31, pretty good. Still not the same thing. Decent stat spread. It's definitely usable, not like the best thing. Again, 90 speed is rough because you're essentially going to need a choice scarf if you want to outspeed stuff, or if you don't want to outspeed stuff, you're just gonna do like choice specs and try and nuke things. Like choice specs fire hyper. That's a combo that you can do, which will be funny to do. Let's see here. Smasher, the melee Pokemon. Rough skin, yeah, yeah. Okay, 300. Spike, melee Pokemon. Actually, what do you make for this? I mean, it would nuke one thing, but then, I mean, it's just sitting there. Okay, level 18 is pretty good for that 400 base stat total. Rough skin. Defenses are like pretty solid for the most part. What border? I think it does have to be six. Let's see here. Okay, Zeus versus Chieftain. Oh, that lightning is very good. Zeus is Zeusing. Very, very good unit I made there. Artemis versus Tamer. We'll read through these. Landmine, or I mean, you could give Landmine a buff and make Landmine into the pseudo legendary Pokemon, and then just swap around some levels. It'd be pretty fun to see a non-dragon type pseudo legendary. Tripwire rock type physical move. Okay, interesting. Base power is halved every time this move is used in battle. Hopefully that changes when it switches out, because if not, this is just a one-time use move. Pokemon takes 1/3 damage dealt as recoil. Not the greatest. This one actually kinda sucks. Alright, Tribal King versus Ares. Okay. The grass type starter line. Director, overgrown, that's normal, needs a stat buff a little bit. Starters have about like 300, starter base stage has like 305, 310 base stat total, so it needs a bit more stats thrown into this thing. Let's move on here. Overseer, yeah, that is good for middle stage. I think it's around like 410, 425-ish in that range, but 410 does work, I think. Spore Swarm got a special move, 60, 95% accurate. 50% chance to call sleep. I mean, that's a pretty strong move. Like, oh god, if a Moongus got access to that and he could actually like deal damage while also essentially putting you to sleep, any Pokemon with Serene Grace getting this instant sleep, like that's a strong finishing move. And then Grass Poison with Effect Spore instead of Overgrowth. 130 special attack, slow. It's kind of slow enough to take effect, um, to make use of like Trick Room. Then still with the sleep chance. That's pretty good for a starter. You definitely need to tweak the pseudo legendary to be useful. The grass type starter base stage does need a tiny power increase of like 30 stat points in order to actually be on par with the rest of the like base stage starters. Some of these levels need to be adjusted. Yeah, go sleep, bro. Oh, rough one. Rough one. Yeah, I mean, you could also definitely ask around on like YouTuber Discord or like PokeTuber Discords and see what they think because I'm not a competitive player. If I was, I could tell you a lot more. I can just kind of tell you like these are like what the stat spreads are, how good an ability is, because I mean that's still over. How good a bunch of these signature moves are, and then like some of the technical stuff. But we will see you around, Necro. Twelve potion sellers versus 7 footmen. We'll be back tomorrow, so if you have more of them brought up, like thought up it tomorrow, you can drop them by. I mean, I don't know what it's all about during this because it's just a very like match. You know, what a dodge from this potion seller. Ooh, good dodge, and he's dead. Dude, he was ducking and weaving. He sidesteps that one. He like leaned back against the swing. One footman, two footmen dead. We'll probably just do one round one after this. Potion sellers are being like overrun. As long as the footman just yeah, just like stays on top of them, but they don't really have much of a chance here. Ooh, interesting. Harvester versus Executioner. 1v1. It looks like the Executioner would like just barely win this 1v1, just normal. He did get an extra hit in with the he would do the fear. He always gets that first attack in. This could easily go both ways, I feel. Like that's not a lot of difference between um how much damage these two are doing to each other. Oh god! I think the Harvester needs a slight buff as well. I think the Harvester is pulling its weight here. I think the Queen might also need a change, just so that it's... Some of these units do need changes so that they have, like, close range capabilities. Scarecrow versus Knight. They took down game one against the Scarecrow. And they get to take game two. Wizard versus King Fallen. So the King shouldn't care too much. I mean, they will if they were able to break these wizards up into smaller groups, they'd actually be able to do a lot better here. But that's not a thing. So I think a Fallen could absolutely like kill two, maybe even three of them. But it's just not going to be close there. So that is the end of this round of the tournament. Okay, now then, before I start on these, we will do a recap quickly. So let's recap over the factions and where they're standing now. Wild West, Pirate, and Tribal are all at 0-4. I kind of expected it from Tribal, not necessarily from Pirate and Wild West. I thought they'd be doing better. I mean, not everyone can. Farmer is at 1-3, which makes sense. Ancient and Viking are at 2-2, which is really weird for me to think about. Because, I mean, Ares and Thor exists. And they're like two of the best units I have. I guess, makes sense because the rest of the faction can't be held up by Thor and Ares. Medieval, Dark, Spooky, and Dynasty are all tied at 3-1, which I'm surprised Medieval's doing that well for being the third one I made. Renaissance, yeah, is at oh no, it's a five-way tie. Medieval, Dark, Spooky, Dynasty, and Renaissance are all at 5-3-1. Yeah, Da Vinci does carry. And then, Light is at number one, and I don't know if anyone's going to be able to beat that. Do something like that, and then, we'll hopefully make the rest of these and then move on from this. Okay. Let's see here. Hmm. Yeah, this is a cavalry archer, all right. This a block, and then carry. I don't know what ancient Egyptians wore. I'm gonna be real. That's six. So wave. So maelstrom. Neither of those really work. Maybe a hover. This is like a navy blue. This is like a what? No, this isn't a chicken. This is I can't. There aren't. There isn't anything in the game that's like better than this. Okay, hold on a second. So let's do. Gotta at least make it look somewhat accurate. These are also both like a navy blue. Yeah, and then just this one looks like. Masked up the face, so this has a wizard staff. Fireway, Soul Maelstrom, Hover. Like 1,000, make him slightly bigger. 2,000. So also make the attack speed like a lot more. Oh, it's like the same thing. Let's let's increase this to like 2,000 here. Still hover, Reaper wings. We gotta swap this out for that. Giant fear. Yeah. Another 2,000. Next up is gonna be the modern faction, like modern units. Then after that, I don't know. That's sand, a sand tornado. Oh wait, I could just make a mummy. That's kind of sand-like. Okay, and he's like faster attack speed, and like a little bit more HP. This should all probably be yellow. And then we just have a mummy left. We need to put some type of mask over this as well now. So make this now that, and then do we have like a arrow? We can do that. So infantry, archer, little worker, mummy, Kopeshi, yeah, pharaoh, sand elemental, on unison rock. So that's gonna be where I end for today, guys. I'm gonna rate it up. I should just started. So tomorrow we'll be here doing F and F again. So that being said, guys, I thank you all for watching, and as always, have a good day.